Hi, my name's Judith Turner. One of the devices that I use for shortening gowns is called a chalk hem marker. Now I use this if the gown has been shortened a little bit more than say 2 inches from the ground. If it's not and it's close to 1 inch from the ground, then I would pin all the way around. But if you haven't got one of these devices, they're great for anything from 2 inches off the ground up to knee level. My client did ballroom dancing, and so she preferred her gowns to be around the ankle length. This particular gown wasn't too bad. A lot of gowns will be higher at the back than the front, and you can see here where she's just slowly going around. It's not quite straight, and the beauty of the chalk marker is that it will straighten it. The first thing to do is to just get a section at the correct length. Now I have a mirror which you can't see that she can, and I'm just pinning it up to just below the ankle, which is where she asked me to have it. So I'm just going to place a double pin there, and then I'll get her to check it and make sure she's happy with that length. So once the length's been determined, it's just a matter of moving the section that holds the chalk down to the exact length that she wants it. And what I'm doing is I'm just getting it so that it's right on the folded section, and then I can take the pins out, and once that's done, and now it's just a matter of going around, and at the end of it there's a little puff, and it's like a little rubber ball, and when you puff on that, the chalk comes out and it marks the garment. So I'm going to get her, you can either get the client to turn around and you can stay in that one position and then just keep puffing all the way around, or you could actually move around them. In this case I'm holding it still and just getting her to move, and I tend to chalk about every 6 inches, which is about 15 centimeters. This particular gown had an overlay, so what I'm doing is I'm just going all the way around initially, and then once I've completed, I will come back and I'll reshape that front overlay, and I'll chalk underneath so that I get the rest of the skirt. So you can see that that's a really easy process to use. When something is a little bit higher off the ground, it's easier to use something like this than it is, say, to measure from the ground and fold the fabric up. It's a lot harder to do that. Although now there are a number of different types of these units. The one that I have there is a little bit older than the one that I have for sale on my website. You can also get one which you can actually put a pin in. But you can see that as you go around there, it's straightening it, and for me now it's just a matter of when I put it on the prepare table that I just have to come down for the hem allowance. And if you were doing a hairline hem or something like that, then you just need to sew below those chalk marks, cut it, fold it up, sew it again, fold it up, sew it again, and you get your lovely hairline hem. Once I've got the top layer done, I would then with the overlay just pin that, try and reshape it a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect here. You're going to make sure that you get the right line when you've got it on the prepare table. This is more just for the client to see exactly how it's going to look, so they understand what it is that you're doing. Some people might not understand how you're going to reshape it so that it flows with the rest of the garment. Once I've pinned the overlay, then I just hold it up very gently because I don't want to pull on the outer layer, and then just chalk around all the way to the side seam where the overlay is inserted. About 90% of gowns and dresses are shorter at the back than the front. And this is generally to do with body shape more than anything else. So this type of device is excellent because it allows you to get the hem straight all the way around. You'll notice on most gowns that the lining is a little bit shorter than the outer layer, and this can vary anything from being half an inch or a centimetre shorter to being up to 2 inches or 5 inches, 5 centimetres shorter. So, but what I do just to make life easy is that I'll just go around and mark it with the chalk marker. So I've lifted the outer layer and I'm just slowly going around and just marking the lining, because the lining might not necessarily be straight either. And then what I can do is I can just actually cut on that chalk mark, or I can measure up from that chalk mark. For example, if it is 5 centimetres or 2 inches shorter, then I can take that into account because I know that this chalk mark is the same as the outer, and then all I've got to do is make the adjustment. I have included a final video just to show what I mean when they're ballroom dancing. This particular lady wanted to be able to have it at least around the ankle so that she didn't get her shoe caught. To purchase a chalk hem marker, go to my website jeanniecentre.com. Under hints and tips you'll see category dresses and gowns, and you'll find a blog there on how to purchase. I do only post within Australia, I'm sorry. Posting overseas with this type of item is a bit too expensive. Happy altering!